Ah, Salem, you never cease to amaze us with your endless web of secrets, lies, and heart-wrenching twists. I came to its Saturday and involved Hadjurkan's sounding interventions and the kind of cliffhanger revelations that keep us tuning in day to day. Today, we're diving deep into this plot thread, speculating on whether Holly My Hades lies toxic, it could shatter her world. And more importantly, could this has to be the explosive turning point the show needs to propel us into the next arc of drama? Let's unpack it all, step by step, with the kind of insider insight that only comes from years of watching these characters evolve, falter, and rise again.
First, let's set the stage for those who might have missed a beat or two in the whirlwind that is Salem's daily chaos. Holly Jonas, the fiery daughter of Nicole Walker and the late Daniel Jonas, rest his soul, that man was taken from us far too soon in one of the show's most tragic accidents, has always been a character teetering on the edge. Played with such raw intensity by Ashley Puzemis, Holly embodies that perfect mix of vulnerability and defiance that makes her so relatable yet unpredictable. Lately, she's been insisting vehemently, I might add, that she hasn't touched any medication. No pills, no substances, nothing that could explain the foggy haze that's settled over her life. But here's the kicker, we, the audience, know better. We've seen the sly maneuvers of Sophia Choi, that scheming newcomer who's got her own agenda brewing. Sophia, with her innocent facade hiding a calculating mind, swapped out Holly's innocent skincare supplements with something far more sinister. It's a move straight out of the DeMera playbook, subtle, insidious, and designed to erode from within. Imagine it, Holly, going about her routine, applying what she thinks are harmless vitamins or creams meant to keep her glowing and healthy. But instead, she's unwittingly ingesting toxins that are slowly altering her reality. The symptoms: a creeping sense of disorientation, mood swings that hit like a Salem storm, and a general feeling that something's just off. Holly's denial is palpable. She's chalking it up to stress, perhaps the lingering grief over her father's death, or the complicated dynamics with her mother Nicole, who's had her own share of ups and downs with Eric Brady and the ever-present specter of E.J. DeMera. But as viewers, we're screaming at the screen, Holly, wake up! It's not you, it's the sabotage. This brings us to one of the most heartwarming yet frustrating elements of this arc. Holly's confiding in Maggie Horton-Kiriakis. Maggie, portrayed by the legendary Suzanne Rogers, who's been a cornerstone of the show since 1973. Maggie is the epitome of maternal wisdom in Salem, a woman who's weathered more storms than the Atlantic during hurricane season. From her early days as a farm girl to her marriages to Mickey Horton and now Victor Kiriakis, God rest his soul, to that Greek tycoon's exit left a void that's still felt. Maggie has always been the voice of reason amidst the madness. When Holly opened up to her, spilling her confusions and fears, Maggie didn't hesitate. Go see a doctor, she urged, her eyes filled with that trademark concern that saved more than one Horton from the brink. It's classic Maggie, practical, loving, and insistent on facing problems head-on. But Holly, oh, no. She's got that youthful stubbornness that we've seen in so many Salem teens before her. I don't have time, she snaps back, brushing off the advice like it's yesterday's news. Time? In Salem, where days stretch into eternity and plots unfold at a glacial pace only to explode in an instant. It's almost laughable, but it rings so true to character. Holly's caught up in her own whirlwind, perhaps dealing with romantic entanglements, like her lingering feelings for Tate Black or the tensions with Johnny DeMera. Whatever it is, her dismissal of Maggie's advice feels like a ticking time bomb. As an editor who's scripted similar scenes in fan fiction and analyzed countless episodes, I can see the setup clear as day. This is the calm before the storm. The moment where denial sets the stage for a dramatic fall. Now, let's escalate things, because Days of Our Lives never lets a good conflict simmer without turning up the heat. As Holly's behavior spirals into something more erratic, think unexplained outbursts, forgetfulness that borders on dangerous. Maybe even a fainting spell or two in true soap fashion, the Horton women aren't going to stand idly by. Enter Sarah Horton, Maggie's daughter and another pillar of strength in the family. Sarah, with her medical background, she's a doctor. After all, having navigated her own share of heartbreaks with Xander Cook and the loss of her child Mickey, will undoubtedly join forces with her mother. Picture the scene, Maggie and Sarah cornering Holly in the Horton living room, that iconic set where so many family reckonings have played out. The lighting dim, the tension thick, Maggie gently probing, Sarah more direct, her stethoscope practically in hand. Holly, sweetie, this isn't like you, Maggie might say, her voice trembling with worry. We've seen the signs before, the mood swings, the denial. Are you sure you're not using something? Drugs, maybe. And Holly, eyes flashing with indignation, would fire back. How could you even think that? I'm not on drugs. I swear. It's a confrontation ripe with emotion, echoing past storylines like when J.J. Devereaux battled his own addictions or when Cher Brady faced her traumas. But here's where the genius of the writing shines. Holly's insistence is genuine. She truly believes she's clean because, in her mind, she hasn't knowingly taken anything illicit. Yet, a lab test that blood draw Maggie so wisely suggested could reveal a different story entirely. Oh, the blood test. This is the crux of our speculation, isn't it? Do I think Holly will finally follow Maggie's advice and get that test done, only to be shocked by the presence of toxins in her blood? Absolutely, I do. Days of Our Lives thrives on these moments of revelation, where characters are forced to confront the invisible hands manipulating their lives. Imagine Holly, perhaps after a particularly bad episode, say, a blackout during a crucial moment, like driving or in a heated argument reluctantly agreeing to the test. She marches into University Hospital, that bustling hub of Salem's medical dramas, where doctors like Caleb Brady Johnson or Trip Johnson might oversee the procedure. The needle pricks, the vial fills with crimson evidence, and then, the wait. In soap opera time, that wait could span episodes, building suspense with cutaways to other plots, maybe Abby Devereaux's latest intrigue or Brady Black's ongoing battles. But when the results come back, boom, toxins detected. Not just any toxins, but traces that point to something synthetic, something swapped into her daily routine. Holly's face would crumple in shock, her world tilting on its axis. But how? I didn't take anything, she'd cry. And that's when the pieces start falling into place. Flashbacks to Sophia handing her the supplements, a sly smile on her rival's face. The realization hits like a freight train, betrayal from someone she thought was a friend. Will this scenario play out? In my experienced opinion, yes, or at least a variation of it. The showrunners, led by the talented Ron Carlivati, have a knack for layering deceptions like this. Remember the time when Vivian Alamain buried Carly Manning alive? Or the more recent swaps involving baby switches and identity thefts? This fits right in. Sophia Choi's motivations add fuel to the fire. Is she jealous of Holly's life, her connections, her beauty? Perhaps she's working for a bigger player, like a Demera operative or even a Horton enemy from the past. The drama could extend to accusations flying, Holly pointing fingers at Sophia, leading to a catfight in the town square, witnesses gasping as secrets spill out. But let's expand on the fallout, because a good day's storyline doesn't end with the reveal, it cascades. Maggie and Sarah would rally around Holly, offering support but also probing deeper. Who could have done this? Sarah might ask, her doctor instincts kicking in to analyze the toxin's composition. Maybe it ties back to a larger plot, pharmaceuticals gone wrong, courtesy of Titan Industries or Demera Enterprises. Holly's mother, Nicole, would be devastated, blaming herself for not noticing sooner. My baby girl, she'd sob in Eric's arms, reigniting their on-again off-again romance amid the crisis. And what about Holly's shock turning to anger? We've seen her feisty side before, and this could unleash a vengeful streak. She might confront Sophia in a scene dripping with tension, words escalating to slaps, perhaps even a tumble into the Brady pub's counter, smashing glasses for effect. The audience would eat it up, cheering for Holly's empowerment while wondering if Sophia has an ace up her sleeve. Could Sophia deny it, claiming innocence and turning the tables? Or reveal a backstory that humanizes her? Maybe she's being blackmailed, adding layers to her villainy. Diving deeper, let's consider the medical angle, because Days loves to weave in realism with its drama. Toxins in skincare supplements. It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. In the real world, we've heard horror stories of contaminated products, but in Salem, it's amplified. The test results could show something like benzodiazepines or hallucinogens, explaining Holly's erratic behavior. Sarah, as a neurologist, might explain the effects. These substances can mimic drug use, causing paranoia, memory lapses, even hallucinations. It educates while entertaining. A hallmark of the show's best arcs. Speculating further, does this lead to a larger conspiracy? Perhaps Sophia isn't acting alone. What if it's tied to the ongoing Demera versus Kyriakis feud? Victor's legacy lingers, and with Xander now in the mix, there could be corporate espionage involved. Holly, as a Jonas Horton hybrid, is caught in the crossfire. Or maybe it's personal Sophia's grudge stemming from a past slight, like a stolen boyfriend or a social snub at Salem High. As for whether Holly follows through on the blood test, I bet she does, but not without resistance. It might take a rock-bottom moment, perhaps endangering someone she loves, like Kate, in a drugged haze. That guilt pushes her to the doctor's office. The shock of positive toxins. Devastating. But it's also redemptive. Holly emerges stronger, vowing to uncover the truth. Let's talk relationships impacted. Tate Black, Holly's one-time flame, could be drawn back in, offering support and sparking romance anew. But with his own family dramas, Teresa Donovan's schemes, it's complicated. Johnny Demera might see an opportunity, adding love triangle fuel. And Maggie. Her advice validated, she becomes Holly's rock, strengthening Horton bonds. Broader implications, this could expose a black market in Salem, leading to arrests, trials, and more drama. Sophia might flee, only to return as a recurring villain. Or redeem herself with a twist. Maybe she was coerced by E.J. Demera.
In conclusion, yes, I think this plays out. It's too juicy not to. Holly's test as reveals toxins, shock ensues, and Salem explodes.